welcome to day 18 of Critical Encounters Villainous Yule calendar for December 2022. Here, we get in the holiday spirit and take a quick look at some random festive aspects of the game. So let's peek behind the door and see what our so-called villains are up to. Well, on tonight's little Villainous issue, I have special guests with me tonight. It's Christian and Angela from the Married and Bored podcast. Welcome back to the show, you two.
Hey, everyone.
We're happy to be here.
We're happy to be back. Hopefully your Villainous is
Going well.
as evil as it can be.
There you go.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. We're having you on tonight because we want to talk a little bit about this custom campaign that FFG did. They put a contest out there, and you two entered the contest, and I heard you won. Did you guys win?
I wish.
In our hearts.
In our
Okay.
hearts. Yeah.
I also submitted a campaign and didn't win. And I had several friends who submitted campaigns and also didn't win. So you're in good company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do have to say, like, when they put up the stream to announce the winners, like, Angela and I were just waiting. We're like, they're gonna say us.
No.
That's gonna be
Me
ours.
too.
It's so good. And then as they kept on, like, announcing who it was, we're like, yes, they did way better than we did.
Yeah.
Well, you could see the papers have, like, comic art on them and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I didn't go that far because I was worried that they didn't want that, right?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a requirement, and so it shouldn't have weighed in on judging. But
right. But we don't know if it did. So
yeah, we don't know.
To be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to do the whole thing for sure.
Yeah. A friend of mine, we were chatting with each other during the stream privately, and they announced, I don't know, number 2 or 3 or whatever it was, and he's like, "That's exactly what I did on mine." He's like, "Yeah, that's not mine though." He was all upset.
Yeah. I wonder how many, like, duplicates they got, not like unintentionally.
Yeah. Just things that were very similar to each other. Mm-hmm. They said a lot of people used, when they went through the list of
percentages.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the Hood and not a lot of Kang.
Well, most of the newer
did they
stuff at the time?
Yeah, I think they mentioned some Green Goblin stuff, things like that. Yeah. I know on mine, I know we're going to talk about yours, but on mine, I tried to use some scenarios I thought maybe didn't get as much love from the community.
Sure.
That's a good idea.
To, like, try to breathe some life into them, at least from my perspective. So
yeah.
But so that's what I did on mine. I'd like to take a look at yours. Why don't you guys give us a rundown on sort of the overall theme, and then we can kind of move through the different scenarios.
Yeah, sure. I'll let Angela go into the more details because that's what she likes. But I think our main goal of the whole thing is, like, we really like the reason why we like playing board games is because they can tell really fun stories. And so, like, we started with our story first, I think.
Yeah.
And that was kind of feeding us the ideas. And so our campaign is called Accidental Avengers. And the idea is we chose young the Guardian characters.
No, they can't be Guardians.
They can't be Guardians. Tell me what they should be.
Champions.
Champions.
Yeah.
There you go. So we chose the champions, the young team, the Nova, Miss Marvel, Gwen, etc. And then villains are running amok in New York because the Avengers are missing. And so this young team of heroes has to figure out why. So that's kind of where we started.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The villains are always running amok. That's just kind of what we do.
That's true.
Right. That's true.
I forget you guys have an affinity towards the villains at times. So they're just doing what they do with no one to stop. Yeah.
So
probably the best day of their life at that point.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No Avengers. Woo. That's great. So tell me a little bit about the first scenario here. Green Goblin, it looks like.
Yes. So we chose the mutagen formula, Green Goblin. So the city, as Christian said, is in chaos. Green Goblin is running amok, and there's no one to stop him. None of the Avengers are there. And so all these young heroes decide to step in and save the city. And we've got the mutagen formula and standard sets. And there's a whole bunch of special rules to our campaign. but they don't really come in on the first scenario. It's
Yeah.
the result, the victory of the first scenario where those trigger.
Sure.
So Christian already said you can't choose to be a guardian, and because we're going to be dealing with heroes, Avenger heroes, you can't have certain allies in any player's deck, like Black Widow, Black Panther, Thor, Iron Man. We have a list.
Okay.
And then you're gonna calculate experience, kind of like Sinister Motives campaign, apart from victory conditions. So that first scenario is just limited, limited hero choice,
Yeah.
and then Green Goblin mutant Jin formula.
It's pretty straightforward. There's nothing crazy about it other than
I guess we do add Goblin gear from Sinister Motives
that's true.
into his
More thematic
deck. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's the Goblin Gear's like the upgraded Goblin gimmicks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I like the whole idea where like you can't play the Avengers or the Guardians.
Yeah.
And you have to play, and you can't have. It looks like your list is basically the core, the original Avengers type of guys can't be your allies.
Right.
That's neat to limit the choices of heroes. 'Cause I'm curious how many people did that, right? Like, I didn't even consider that. I was focused on the villains, and I bet a lot of other people were too, like building the scenario, not
Yep.
building who you can play as. So that's probably fairly unique.
Yeah, I think we wanted to just create a unique experience on the hero side of things, because like the villains, some of them are difficult, like mutagen formula. I think Angela and I struggle with that one to begin with, and so
Right.
we're just like, well, let's kind of make it harder by limiting who you can even play, and because of the story we wanted to tell, like we're like, well, the quote unquote core Avengers, we don't know where they
they're
are,
nowhere.
so. And the Guardians are in space, so like we can't be them either.
Yeah. So what's going on?
Yeah.
Makes sense. And like FFG should be happy about this because people would have to make sure they buy the product
Exactly.
that has
Yeah.
the champions in it. Yeah.
Exactly. As we were making this, we're like, man, we are pulling from every set to make
Yeah.
this scenario. But we're one of those crazy people or couples that has it all, so why not? Let's
Right.
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was something I wasn't sure. Like, should I limit myself? Is it okay to use 2 cards from this one box? And
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I have everything too, of course.
of course.
Okay, so we've beaten Green Goblin.
Okay.
Then what? What do we do here at the end of
Sure.
Goblin?
So the next step is Green Goblin has been defeated, and then Spider-Man comes out and says,
Kind of
"Hey,
like, what's going on?
yeah, I was just about to come help, but you guys did it before me." And so then as a group, you head to Avengers Tower. And so then we pull in the, what is it called? Tower defense?
Mm-hmm. The tower
scenario.
defense.
And to find out that it's been, it's under attack by our, a
Corvus
throwback
Glaive.
to our original episode
Yeah.
with you guys, Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight.
And they've got the wrecking crew with
and
them.
the Wrecking Crew encounter set as well. So it's a pretty thick, adventure there.
But
Nice.
the nice part for the heroes, I guess I should say, the nice part for them is that now Spider-Man, he's shown up on the scene. He's now going to enter what we call the Avengers display. So this is where our campaign special rules come into play. The Avengers display is basically you're going to use the hero card of whatever hero Avenger is mentioned. So in this case, it's Peter Parker. And you're going to put it only on the hero side. It's not considered in play. It's not considered under any player's control. And then it can't be flipped to alter ego or removed for any reason. And we can, if it were 2 players playing, one of us can add his thwart or his attack or his defense once per round to ours. He can't do the thwarting or the attacking or the defending on his own. So he's like along for the ride.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I view it as like an advisory board.
Yes.
Where
okay.
Like the veteran heroes are off to the side and being like, Nova, I wouldn't have done that. Why don't you use my +2 punch and we'll help you kill these minions or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's neat. That you have him on the table and he's contributing, but he's like, yeah, I like that. It's sort of,
But you can't just
that
have
mentor.
him.
Yeah.
You can't just have him defend for you because he can't defend on his own.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
So he can add to your defense.
Yeah.
But he can't defend for you. Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's different. I like that.
Yeah, and so that's kind of the theme that we go with throughout the rest of the campaign too. We'll be maybe add or remove heroes to that. What did you call it? I keep on saying advisory board, but it's
The
That's what you
Avengers
think of it
display.
as. Avengers
There
display.
you go, the display.
And I should say the heroes text box would be considered blank as well. I think we wrote that.
Yeah, it's just a stat boost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so it doesn't have any hit points. It doesn't do anything special, but
Right.
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
So you have Spider-Man on the table next to Spider-Man Miles Morales, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just kind of saying, hey, do it this way.
Yep. And then he's trying to attack Corvus, Proxima, and the Wrecking Crew. We've got the tower defense and the Wrecking Crew from the Hood scenario pack, and then the standard.
yeah, Wrecking Crew's pretty tough, but I mean, somebody's gonna knock down a tower. It's gonna be them.
Yeah.
Well, and then one thing we wanted to do is just bring in a bunch of like, I think what you said, maybe some villains that aren't as popular as well, because we weren't going to do the Wrecking Crew scenario.
Right.
That would be a little wild, but luckily we had the little encounter set to add, and like we're trying to think who else would be lurking around New York, just trying to mess things up while they had the opportunity because the Avengers were gone.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes perfect thematic sense. All right, so you've defended the tower. I see we're gonna earn some more experience points. We're worried if
Yes.
the tower's damaged or not. Then
Yep.
where are we going?
Yep. Okay, so the story is coming to Doctor Strange is coming, and now you've won. So Doctor Strange is here. He's gonna either stay and repair a damaged Avengers Tower, or if the Avengers Tower has the stronghold trait, he is going to come with you into the Avengers display and join you because he's going to portal everyone to the collector.
Yeah, because basically he's found out where the Avengers could be.
Yes.
So he does his little circle spell, and he shows up and he's like, hey, I'm late, but I know where the Avengers are.
They're rumored to be under the collector.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Collector's
Yeah.
picking people up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he joins you, or he has to stay behind to clean up your mess.
That's basically like, you kids made a mess and I'll clean it up, or
I can come with you.
yeah, come with me.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we're playing the collector.
Yes.
Yes. So now you either have just Peter Parker in your Avengers display,
Yep.
or you have Peter Parker and Stephen Strange. So then we are infiltrating the museum. So we've got the collector, infiltrate the museum, galactic artifacts. We've got Kree militants from the Galaxy's Most Wanted, and then standard. So we've got some Kree militants who are helping the collector guard his collection.
Yep.
Okay, they're pretty tough too.
Yep.
Yes.
We struggled a lot playing this one, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we figured, like, if we make it a little bit more difficult, we have the hero display to help us boost when we need to.
Yes.
So something might seem out of control, but then everyone kind of has an extra stat boost, possibly each turn.
Right.
Yeah, and the Kree militants, I mean, they're minions you want to kill off, and then they end up in the collection, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. All right, that makes sense. I like that. I like seeing
Yeah.
the collector get used again, right? Not a ton of. That seems to be one of those I think people don't always go back to.
Yeah,
because it can be frustrating.
Yeah, it
Very.
seemed very one and done in the Galaxy's Most Wanted story. Like, it was like, get in, get out, and then the next scenario.
Well,
Like,
the getting in with the grand collection, that was, I remember the first time we played that was so hard, to manage minions. Now, they weren't the Kree militants, but to manage minions and, chump blocking with allies, and
Totally.
now all these cards are going in the collection.
Yeah. A lot of people like never go back to that one.
Rightly so.
And here you are, right in the middle. You're like, no, you're gonna play it, and you're gonna save some Avengers. So
That's
who's
right.
gets saved? I'm guessing we save someone.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
find out that the collector has a couple.
We find Black Widow and She-Hulk
Yep.
are trapped. So depending on how many galactic artifacts are in the victory display, you're going to either get to save both of them or one of them and add them to, or I guess none if you have no galactic
Yeah,
artifacts
if you did
in the
poorly.
victory display.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So depending on how many galactic artifacts, then you'll get one of those two powerful women or maybe both. And you're going to put them into the Avengers display and they're going to help you escape the museum.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna roll right into escape the museum afterwards.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gotta
makes
try,
sense.
we gotta get out.
Okay.
Yes.
And as we were thinking story, we're like, it kind of just seemed a little choppy to just throw something else in there. It's like, oh, we rescued these people. Now what? Like Doctor Strange shows up again, and we port to wherever. So it just kind of made sense again to throw you right back into the collector.
Yes. And I don't feel like we're done rescuing Avengers. We didn't feel that way. So we wanted him to have more. Like he's collecting Avengers, not just two.
Mm.
So that's why we have a chance to encounter him again on our way out and maybe rescue more.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. And are we playing with any special encounter sets?
Yes.
Temporal.
So,
Oh,
yes.
So we're sprinkling in a little foreshadowing
Yes.
on why the collector might be doing what he's doing by adding that one.
It's like we always say, it's like an episode of 24. That the show way back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where the first episode's villain is like, oh, we had Green Goblin. Green Goblin's bad. Oh no, that's small potatoes compared to who's actually running the show.
Yep.
So we're trying to sneak that in.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I mean, if you're gonna have a time traveling T-Rex, I'm sure the collector would want one.
He
would,
for sure.
Yeah.
He probably had one, and he's like, "Oh, now I have two." And
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
to come to So
Yeah.
yep. So the idea is to just obviously get out and on the way rescue some more Avengers if you
Yep.
can.
So now the victory would be the same condition. How many galactic artifacts are in the victory display? And they'll open up Black Panther, Captain America, or both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I like the idea of using the galactic artifacts that way. You could just escape. Boom, straight line, right for the exit.
Exactly.
Yes.
And you leave them behind, or you got to wander around. You got to look behind everything, check all the stands, go through the cells, and that represents all those galactic artifacts that you're using as clues or recovering or whatever it is in order to find Panther or Captain America. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think these heroes would do, like, we saw Steve and
Right.
Black Panther were here, so we need to see if they're still here and try to find them.
I think it also it makes the player have to make some interesting decisions because all of these scenarios that we've mentioned so far, the experience points are being calculated based on the specific minions defeated. So how many goblin minions were defeated, how many Kree were defeated, were defeated, and how many now temporal minions were defeated. If you're not defeating any of them, then you're not getting experience in our minds. So if they're, hanging around to try to get more and more minions, then they're going to get more experience.
Yep.
Makes sense. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that when we finished Kang, to looking at your experience track.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Oh, I spoiled it. Who's number 5?
Oh man. Yep. It's the time guy. It's Kang.
Yeah. Okay.
He's behind all of this.
Yeah. As maybe we'll find out in the movie that's coming out in a couple months. But we figured he would be a fun big bad to end the whole thing with. His scenario is like a mini campaign.
Yep.
So we're like doing a campaign within a campaign.
Yeah.
Campaign inception. So
nice.
we thought it'd be we Angela and I enjoy this one.
Yes.
Just because of that, you get the condensed version of like a full campaign. That's why we really like Mojo as well. He kind of does the same thing, so
Right.
we're excited to explore that one more too. But anyways, Kang, we like fighting the T-Rexes, the crazy high minions, so we're like, let's throw him at the end.
Yep.
Come
And
to
we've
find
got
out he's collecting them all. I don't remember if we said, Angela, what he was gonna do with them. Is he just trying to capture them?
right. I
Yeah.
think he's
Take
wanting
them
to
out of
send
time.
them
Yeah.
through time and take them out.
Yeah.
So we've got the Kang scenario pack, but then we've also got Anachronauts.
Yeah. The big boys.
And the standard.
Okay.
So I guess you want to explain how the remaining big three, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, get rescued?
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, is it have to do with the ships at the end, or I don't remember?
Oh, it's the minions.
Oh, the big minions.
Yep.
That's
so
right.
the Anachronauts, every time a minion with an Anachronauts trait comes out and engages a player, then you're going to put Iron Man, and then once you defeat that minion, Iron Man goes in your display.
Yeah.
And then the next Anachronaut trait minion is going to have Thor. And then the next one is Hulk. So to get all three of them, you would need to have three Anachronauts minions engage players and be defeated.
Yeah, I like that. They're guarding, or
Exactly.
they're I can see that cinematically. Death Hunt 2000 has Iron Man by the scruff of his neck and he's dragging him away, and you got to chase him down and take out the villain or the minion so you can save Iron Man. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
And it's kind of like luck of the draw too, because you don't know if one's going to get engaged with you. So like you might do this scenario and only be able to rescue one. Rescuing three maybe won't happen, but
Yeah, you have to.
yeah.
It's another thing where you have to weigh things. If things are going quickly and you're not seeing those minions, then that's a decision you have to weigh either by yourself or with the group.
Yeah. I would think in a 4-player game you would probably see them.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, but in solo maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And when the Kang 2 shows up and splits everybody in time, you lose control of the Avengers display. So nobody from
no boosties.
Yeah, no boosts.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because everyone's been separated and scattered through time. But they'll come back to you with Kang 3. Yeah.
With those
Oh,
dang
that's
ships.
nice. Yeah. That's good. I like that. That stays right on theme, and yeah.
Yeah. It was a fun culmination to our little story that we thought. So
Yes.
How about this experience points? I'm looking at your campaign log, and all that makes perfect sense, right? What are remaining hit points if you're playing on expert, and number of this and Avengers display, and then you have an experience track.
yeah.
Yes.
So we've been defeating those poor innocent minions along the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
And you're moving up the track, and we're getting bonuses for moving up the track?
Yep. So we struggled a lot with how nice we should be to the hero.
Yes.
And how easy it should be. And that's where I definitely got my eyes opened with like play testing, because I only did it for probably, I don't know, 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I still am not sure if these are the sweet spot of when you should be awarded these things.
Yeah.
But yes, when you get to when you check off a certain number of boxes, I think the first one happens at 5, you're going to be able to draw an extra card. So everyone is going to start with, maybe 7 if your hand size is 6 or whatever. And then 4 more boxes down, each player gets to choose one of the basic condition upgrades from the Hydra campaign and give it to their identity, add it to your deck in the campaign log. And then the next one further down is that during setup, each player may automatically equip an upgrade of cost 2 or less at the start of each scenario. So, you can't put out like that symbiote suit or whatever that is. But
Right. Yeah.
it's got to be 2 or less. And then the more down, each player may automatically place an ally of cost 4 or less at the setup into play under their control. And this is getting to the point where we don't expect, I don't know, the majority of people to get this far on the
Yeah.
experience.
And it kind of seems difficult, but we're also thinking like we already have like a hero display helping
Yeah.
Right.
helping you. So it's too much help. Would that make it too easy? Like if we
Right.
just gave everybody perks, every checkbox along the way with every XP gain. So we kind of stretched it out and made it a little bit more difficult on this track.
Oh, I think
Yes.
it has to be, right? I mean, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Sinister Motives has that cool thing, like as you advance down the reputation track, you're getting good and bad things.
Yes. And that's where we started in our thought process. Like, oh, let's copy something like this. But then it just got a little bit too
Too
wild.
messy. Yeah.
So I've already figured out a way the heroes are going to cheat on
Okay.
your
Oh,
experience track.
okay.
All right. So I think we should get modified right off the bat here because
Okay.
I
Okay,
think what's
tell
going to
me.
happen is you're going to have some cheaty hero playing the Green Goblin scenario, and they're going to
Yep.
kind of get ahead, right? They know they're okay. They've got Goblin down to where they're just going to their board set up, and they're just going to sort of turtle and just kill 50 Goblin minions right at the beginning and
Over
advance the
and
whole
over.
way down the track.
Yep. See, these are things that we don't think of.
Well, and and
Yeah, right off the bat, I immediately my villain brain went, how can I take advantage of this?
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah, so what you should have is like
A limit.
if you reach a bonus, you stop adding XP. Right? So
That's
like
true. Once you hit the next
you
level.
could kill 10 goblins, but you have to stop at your first level. So
Yes.
yeah.
That's good, because that was the one more than any of the others when I was running through them. It varied so much. Like, and again, I was playing solo, but I would, sometimes I would quickly, as quick as I could, defeat Green Goblin, and I'd only have, 4 Goblin minions or 3.
Right. So you haven't even hit the first one. And then another time,
Yeah.
maybe you have too many goblins out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
I can see that.
it varied so much.
Yeah. And I could see it. I think, especially 4 players, if you're playing this 4 players, because
Yeah.
you're just going to have so many extra minions, go through so many encounter cards where the whole table could
Just be full.
That's true.
easily. Yeah. I mean, sometimes mutagen formula, there's just too many minions out, right? So,
Definitely.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wonder if divide it by the number of players, or does that still not do it?
It's tough. Like
Yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of like it caps out or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
or you do multiplayer, each player has their own experience track and they're tracking it separately.
That's true. You could do it that way.
Right. So then
Then-
maybe Thor kills 5 off. Well, I guess you can't play Thor, but Spider Gwen kills 5 off, and Miles only kills 2, so she's
Right.
ahead of him, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I like that
That could
idea.
be
That's
interesting,
cool.
too.
Kind of makes it a little RPG a little bit.
Yeah. And then, that makes sense because one of your heroes could be equipped with a basic condition upgrade and another one doesn't have it yet. Yeah.
It could lead to some interesting gameplay choices too. Like, no, let me kill your minion because I need the
Yeah.
experience points. No, I want it, and it's a little infighting.
But
Yeah.
that's also very like teenagery and
Yeah,
childish for
it
these
does
seem-
young heroes.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't let me get the last hit. No, I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good addition.
Well, this seems like a fun campaign. I might have to give this a try. So I have a backlog of games to play, but I want to sneak this in there.
Yeah,
So-
don't we all?
Yeah,
Let us know how you do.
I will. It's too bad that you guys didn't come out of there a winner. So
Yeah, I mean we weren't expecting it, but we had a lot of fun.
Thinking.
Yeah,
of it.
making it. We hadn't like stretched our brains in that way before, so it was it was really fun. Got a little inside peek at like what it might take to make one of these for real.
Yep.
yeah, that's what I really enjoyed. I appreciate the designers' work that they do more by
Yeah.
trying to make this right. Now we had the constraint of no new cards, right? You got to
Right.
use what's in the. So sometimes it's like, oh, I'd like to do this, and it would be great if they got this card for the reward, and you couldn't do that. So like they have that benefit of being able to say, well, I'm going to make this
Yeah, I'm just
new
gonna
side
make
scheme
it.
that
Right.
does exactly what I want it to do, and you're trying to create. Oh, if we use the galactic artifacts, it can represent this sort of thing. But yeah, I get a new appreciation for the work they put in. So
For sure. I mean, I think I spent how many nights was I sitting there on the couch reading through our son's Marvel encyclopedia, like trying to figure out which villains
Might know each other.
might know each other based on comic book.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
yeah, that's neat. The neat thing too is the Marvel Champions it has its own universe designation now, right? So like,
No.
Right.
so it's
Oh
not the
yeah.
six. Yeah, it's not
It's
the
not
616,
616. Yeah.
right? So they get to like make their own story, and they could say Kang knows Red Skull or whatever it is. So that's a
Right.
lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should have felt more freedom there, but I think I was getting trapped in what was already there. And that's when Christian was like, why don't I just think of a story and you think of how the cards that exist could make that story?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have the teamwork there too, the two of you.
It
Yeah.
makes the dream work.
That's
so
Yeah, that's a good card too.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say one thing I think I struggle with the campaign still is like the Avengers display is like, is that too much power, too many boosts that you can add to your character each turn? Our idea is like, when there's only one of you can use it, and the other person wouldn't be able to until the round resets. But the more Avengers you have, you can use them until they're used up, and then they all kind of like reactivate after that. So it's like,
Yeah, someone would have to read our directions really carefully about the Avengers display
Yeah.
because I can see just a slight misinterpretation of the rules making things so much easier.
right.
You know, if you think Spider-Man can block for you, well,
Oh, right.
Then
He's got no health, so I'm
yeah,
just gonna have
so
him
I'm
block
just gonna
forever.
block forever. Yeah. So I think they have to read really carefully, and they I think Christian mentioned it, but Avengers in the display are readied along with the player's heroes at the end of the hero turn only once all the displayed heroes have been exhausted. So that we're trying to prevent people from like, hey, all we need to do is just use Spider-Man. We don't even need to use anyone else. So we were like, okay, if you've exhausted Spider-Man, he doesn't ready until everyone else in your display has been exhausted as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think one thing we learned from watching the results stream is a lot of people maybe had similar adjacent ideas, but they used the hero's ally version of the cards. And so maybe we could have done just, hey, these allies start activated in your, not in your hand, but like ready.
Oh, they're just in play or
in play right away. That way there's a little bit more variety, because all the heroes, they can attack for 1, 2, or 3. There's not a lot of difference there. So like maybe having a few abilities thrown in there might have made things a little bit more interesting.
That's true.
But
I can see
I would say
that.
those are the only semi regrets we have.
Well, you
Yeah.
just it was like writing that balance between
Yeah.
the interest and also like we don't want them to be defeated and go in your discard pile. We
That's
want
true.
them to hang around.
Yeah.
So how do we do that?
Yep.
Yeah. No, I like it, and the display is something pretty unique, right?
Right. It was. I mean, they've had a victory display, but nothing.
It sounded very FFG of us
Yes,
to use
it
those
did,
words.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Who do you know there? No.
Exactly. Yeah. No one.
Well, I think folks should definitely go check this out. I'll put a link in our show notes to the link you provide me to give to them.
Totally.
But before we wrap up, because I think we've talked pretty much all we can do there. I have a question for Angela.
Oh yes.
Yeah. What are you currently reading?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, right
Gotcha.
out from underneath. Man, this is a segment on our show that's just constantly keeping me on my toes.
That's right. It never goes away. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Anyone who listens to your show knows exactly what I just did. So
I know. Well, guys, I just finished like as of this afternoon, Blonde, which is like the Marilyn Monroe. It's fictionalized, but like her
biography, kind of.
Well, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's historical
her,
fiction.
her story.
And then I'm still reading the great The Warmth of Other Suns, which I think I mentioned in
one of our recent episodes.
recent
You did,
episode.
yes.
It's
Yep.
a big one. It's over 500 pages, so
It's insane.
I'm just plugging away at that.
They both sound very interesting. So I also thought what we should do is we should maybe take a minute to mention what is bringing us joy this holiday season.
Hey, let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's bringing you joy, Christian?
I would say the holidays. I enjoy getting together as a family, but I also, living in Arizona, I love the cooler weather, and that comes also with like warm coffee is acceptable.
Yes.
Or hot coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't drink hot coffee during the summer. I'm a crazy one, and I just get it all the time. I just like the taste better. But like now, it's like I have hot coffee, and it's actually like it actually does something instead of just make me hotter.
That's right.
So I enjoy that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We live in very different climates because it's
I know.
snowing out right now.
Oh man.
And we
Yeah,
drink
when
hot coffee all year long, even when it's in the 90s. We don't care.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, fun fact about Arizona is like you can leave a cup of coffee in your car, run into Target for 35 minutes, come out, and it's August, and your coffee is just as hot as when you left it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No insulated mug required.
Nope.
Yep. What's bringing me joy? I think I'm going to choose something small but significant, and that is I love peppermint. So all the peppermint stuff that's being added to things right now because of the season, I'm here for it.
There you go.
Yes.
How about you, Steve?
Right now, I'm kind of gotten back into Star Wars.
Okay,
So
I'm with you on that. There you go.
I've been watching Andor,
Yes.
and I never watched Clone Wars, so I'm deep into Clone Wars now.
Okay.
And we're playing Return to Hoth for Imperial Assault. Now that it's snowing out, we had to wait till it started snowing
nice.
before we start to play
Yes.
it. So
Great.
so just Star Wars stuff in general is bringing me joy
Yeah.
right now.
And you know what would bring me lots of joy is a new Star Wars card game.
Yeah.
A la Marvel Champions.
Yeah.
I
Or deck
hear
Or a
that
deck
we're getting
building
one of
game.
those, aren't
Yeah.
Yeah.
we? Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I think I got a text message the minute you saw that news release, and
I was like, "Whoops, pre-ordered."
yep. It was right after we had recorded an episode about him not buying anything until
The new year. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, easy. I don't need to buy anything till the new year." And then text message, "Whoops."
FFG,
Pre-ordered.
Star Wars,
Yeah.
Deck Builder, Caleb Grace.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, it's mine.
Yeah. It was an easy decision. It was an easy rule to break.
Oh man. You shouldn't even set rules.
There's no expansions. You don't have to. There's no Kickstarter Gold Edition version of it, right? It's just
No,
one
you
little
just-
box.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I support you.
No big
I
deal.
support
Use
you.
the Force, Ange. It's fine.
Use the force.
And you really bought it so you could play with her, right? So I'm sure it's
a
two players, like all
it's
the
a
deck
two-player
builders.
game.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Easy to set up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel the Star Wars from you. We're watching Andor too.
Mhm.
A little slower, we're a little behind, but
We've got too many shows to watch.
it's close to my heart. It's like Star Wars #1, Marvel is now #2. So
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
all right. All right. Well, thank you both for coming on. We've talked
Yeah.
for quite a while.
yeah, sorry. I know this is
This-
supposed to be a short show.
This is how it happens with
but
us.
you get two of us, and so we're just gonna talk.
Yeah.
We apologize.
Every one of our interviews this season has been longer than we expected and still shorter than we hoped because we love talking to everybody. So,
You can just go ahead and edit out anything Christian said.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
okay. Cut about half out. All right. I hear you.
Yeah.
If the folks want to get a hold of you, though, and they want to see this, like, how do they get a hold of you or how do they find your show?
Okay, so we are on Instagram at Married and Bored, and you can go into our profile and you can hit the link in bio, and you will see our show, the podcast, our website. You'll also see this campaign. You can find us on our website, www.marriedandbored.com. We have a form filler there where you can contact us, and you can email us, hello@marriedandbored.com. And we are on Twitter as well. at.
As long as Twitter's around, we'll be there.
There you go.
Who knows?
Are you blue check verified? I mean,
Yeah,
We are not. No,
we are not.
Okay.
I know. At Married Board.
that's right.
That's the only one that's a little different.
Yep.
But yeah, we love hearing from people, and we would love to know how you do on this campaign. And like we mentioned, if something in the experience track or elsewhere needs to be adjusted to make it either harder or
Yeah.
easier.
We'd love to know.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And we're on all the major podcasts. Wherever you get podcasts, we're there. So you don't have to just go to our Instagram. You can just search for us on Apple, Google, Amazon, all of them. So
They have to go to our Instagram.
that helps.
Do it, people.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks, folks, for sticking around and listening. Have a good night.
Hey, folks, hope you enjoyed that. That was our special gift to you. You want to send us holiday gifts? You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We are Critical Encounters on Facebook, or you can find us on YouTube by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Fun Blow, and Wandering Took. If you like our show, tell Santa. If you don't like our show, tell Krampus. Good night, everyone.